Okay, so let's work next through a example. And in this example, we have a silver mining company that pays its worker a total amount of 200,000 to mine 75 pounds of silver. The silver is then sold to a jewelry manufacturer for 300,000. The jewelry manufacturer pays its workers a total amount of 250 to make silver necklaces. And the jewelry manufacturer sells the jewelry directly to consumers for a total amount of 1 million. So now let's disentangle GDP using once the expenditure approach, and once the income approach, and once the value added approach. And so let's make a little table, and actually we can also draw that here quickly. So we have the silver mining company, and they serve the jewelry manufacturer. So that's pretty jewelry manufacturer. Okay, so now what happens in each stage? So if we go through the information, the only final, and this is a closed economy, so closed economy. So obviously the final good is the jewelry being sold to the consumers for 1 million. So those are the silver necklaces for 1 million. So if you use the expenditure approach, then we can say that the market value of all final goods is equal to 1 million. Okay, so that's the expenditure approach. It's pretty straightforward. So now let's take a look at the income approach. And what we should get is $1 million in income. So let's start with the silver mining company. So it pays its workers $200,000. So that is a wage. So silver mining, I just call it now SM, silver mining company, SMC. So 200,000 in wages. Okay, then the silver is sold to the jewelry manufacturer for 300,000. Okay, so that means that, so you probably still can see there another income component, which is that if the silver mining company sold the silver for 300,000 and the only cost information is 200,000 in wages, they must have made a profit of 100,000. Okay, so 100,000 in profit. Then the jewelry manufacturer pays its workers a total amount of 250. Okay, so the jewelry manufacturing company, JMC, 250,000 in wages. to make necklaces. And then the jewelry manufacturer sells the jewelry directly to consumers for a total amount of 1 million. Okay, so now we have to take a look at the profit. So I make that separately. So GMC profit. So that is total revenue of 1 million minus the intermediate good cost. So cost for the intermediate good, I call it just IMG, intermediate good. That was 300,000 minus the wages, which is 250. Okay, so that leaves us with a profit of 1 million minus 300, 700. So that leaves a profit of 450. So 450,000. So everything that matters now is this, and that. So 200, 300, 550, 450. So total income is also 1 million. So I just have to put it here. I put it here, total income. So which is income from wages and profits is also 1 million. Which is the same as the final goods approach. Okay, so next we do the value added approach. Value added approach. And so now let's take a look at the value added of the silver mining company. I call that value added silver mining company. Okay, the value added is total revenue minus the cost of the intermediate good. So the silver mining company had a total revenue of 300,000. So that's the total revenue minus the total cost for the intermediate goods there are now, so minus 0 equals 300,000. Okay, so now the value added of the jewelry manufacturing company, their total revenue was 1 million. And of course they had intermediate goods worth of 300,000, which they bought from the silver mining company. So minus 300,000, so that's 700,000. Oops, 700,000. So the sum of all value added is also 1 million. So all three approaches give you the same result, and that is also what you again see here, maybe a little bit more organized. Okay, so now you know how to calculate GDP using the expenditure approach, income approach, and the value added approach, and you see they are all the same. And in the next video we'll start talking a little bit about some criticisms of using GDP.